Hello and welcome to Just Trying Things. I'm JD. I'm also a small variety gaming streamer over on Twitch. We can talk about that a little bit more at the end of the show. But for now, we are all about the music, specifically Metallica, Fade to Black. This is the Mexico City September 29th, 2024 performance. This has been recommended to me on a comment on a previous video. My sort of comeback, I went away from YouTube for a long time, and on my comeback video, which was a reaction to Metallica's Lux Eterna, felt apt for a comeback to be about very much a comeback and a return to form kind of track. We talked a little bit about how that felt a lot like it was expressing something about the kind of live thing, the live metal experience and the community and that sense of, for want of a better word, brotherhood. It worked in this case, Metallica, an all metal band, or all male band. And so someone wasn't actually on the Lux Eterna video, it was on the Kirk Hammett High Plains Drifter video that I released as like a bonus reaction, previously unreleased from before I took that break. Suggested that I check out this particular song, this particular performance, rather, of this particular song. And interestingly enough, it also connects, just to really mention all three of my recent releases, to something mentioned in we talked about on my Kate Nash Germ video, because that also talks a bit about something that this song's about. So content warning for anyone who doesn't know the song. I incidentally do. This isn't the first time reaction to the song. I should have mentioned that already. I'm disorganized of mind, apparently. It's been quite a while since I've listened to it. But I am somewhat familiar with Fade to Black, and it is thematically pretty dark. But yeah, that's this connection to Germs that we did talk a little bit about. How am I allowed to say this on YouTube? The fairly common masculine urge to not be in the world anymore, and to act on that impulse that happens quite a bit. So that is kind of a theme of this song. So just a little content warning. When we start talking about the lyrics, that's going to come up. On that note, what I tend to do with these videos now is I will listen to the song, I'll watch the whole video all the way through without any interruption for myself, because that's how I want to experience it. But I will be editing in my thoughts afterwards. I'll probably comment to some extent on that sort of first live viewing, but most of the meat of the discussion is going to happen edited in, so that simultaneously I get the full experience for myself, but also it is cut up and I'm adding some value to the video. So that we can get into the meat of what the songs are about, and also so that I'm just not stepping on toes too badly on a copyright basis. Anyway, that slightly over lengthy introduction aside, let's get into this. This only is like 9 minutes long, which means they're going to be playing with this quite a bit, which I'm excited about. It's a very cool intro already. They're just coming out. Is this how they're... Is this their opener that night? Or just like that intuition? Oh, Jesus, okay. The person who commented said that there was something special about this performance. Hi, I'm Analytical JD, and I'm going to be going through the lyrics as we run through. This is a song that isn't over complex. It's a very well written song, it's very emotive, not in a way that's kind of that requires a great deal of dissection. So I might not be kind of over busy on this, but at the same time, it is a subject that warrants a bit of discussion. So I don't know, maybe I'll be around a bit. Verse 1, life it seems will fade away, drifting further every day, getting lost within myself. Nothing matters, no one else. I have lost the will to live, simply nothing more to give. There is nothing more for me, need the end to set me free. Paints a pretty bleak picture. There is, life it seems will fade away, so there's an straight out the gate, there's a sense of hopelessness. There's a sense, with it being kind of fading away, there's a futility, I think. So that drifting further every day, like you just like a lack of direction, a lack of value to life. Getting lost within myself. I mean, anyone who suffered with depression will absolutely relate to that line. You disappear within your own mind, and it can be hard to sort of break out and kind of have anything have an external life. Your internal life becomes so consuming, and so oppressive that you become lost. Nothing matters, no one else. There's that feeling of solitude. When we did talk about the sense of community in Lux Eterna, I think that's the thing that is those are the two worlds that are in it. They're in opposition. Nothing matters, no one else. That sense of solitude that not solitude can be a good thing, but the loneliness, that sense that there just isn't anyone else there for you, that there's an absence of comfort, of human contact and connection, and it can make it feel like nothing matters because there just is no one to share it with. And then, as Lux Eterna discussed, then you're not alone. You have a community there to share it with. But that's a different song, written decades later. I've lost the will to live. Simply nothing more to give. There is nothing more for me. Need the end to set me free. Like I said, it's not complex. It's very direct. It's something that I think these are sentiments that I think an awful lot of people can relate to. Too many, but I think there are I think most people at some time in their lives can relate to these feelings. Maybe I'm projecting. But there's nothing more to give, and there's nothing more for me. I think most people feel that. Need the end to set me free. Maybe that's a little bit more specific to people, to, disordered emotional states. But I think who hasn't felt some of those feelings, even if they haven't thought about being freed by the end of it all. Have it. All this time. I'm missing one inside of me. Death and loss, this can't be real. I cannot stand this hell I feel. Emptiness is feeling to the point of agony. Growing darkness, taking dawn. Yeah, I was there, but now he's gone. Yeah. I don't think I realized until I started doing this how intense my eyes can be sometimes. I mean, look at that guy. He's into it. Anyway, verse 2. Also, he doesn't even know what's coming. James's little talk. You and I know. he doesn't. Things not what they used to be. Missing one inside of me. I love this verse, by the way. There's a little bit more to the kind of complexity of feeling that you can go through in this. Verse 2 kind of expands on this missing one inside of me. That feeling of we'll come back to it because it sort of relates back at the end of the verse. It's not where I wanted to put my arm. Deathly lost. This can't be real. Cannot stand this hell I feel. I love this verse. Emptiness is filling me to the point of agony. Growing darkness, taking dawn. Favorite line in the song. I was me, but now he's gone. This missing one aside of me. I was me, but now he's gone. When you're in that place, it really does feel like you lose a part of yourself, and you lose something of your identity. You don't feel that you know yourself or recognize yourself anymore. You can maybe think back to who you thought you were, and you can miss that self. You can wonder if they ever really existed. You can wonder who you are now. You can wonder who you might be in the future if you were to make it through this, and you might not even like who that is. I mean, fundamentally, in depression, you don't like yourself. When you're at this point, many people feel that whoever they are, not only are they not happy, but for themselves, that they would be better off if they just weren't. But many feel that the world would be better off too. That isn't something that's explicitly expressed in this. It's more, I think, in this case, it's more that internal sense of despair than the kind of self-loathing. At least, explicitly speaking, but it's an undercurrent, I think, in lines like this. It's not made explicit, but I think it is present in this notion of you missing yourself and losing yourself. Because there's got to be someone there to feel that way. And if that's not you, if that's not who you are, then who is that and what are they worth? Deathly lost. This can't be real. So derealization is another obvious. Like, I don't even know whether that term was in use even clinically in 1983 when this was written. I certainly don't think that, a young metalhead was likely to have access to that kind of to knowledge of that terminology if it was. But there it is. It's expressed. This sense of unreality. Deathly lost. Emptiness is filling me. Love the juxtaposition, the contradiction there. Of being filled with emptiness. That's great writing, because a lot of the time you do have that, there is that mixed up feeling. You don't, it's all part of that not knowing where you are, where you stand, is that you do have this sort of contradictory sort of elements to that. To the point of agony. Growing darkness, taking dawn. Again, that's just that's a great image of despair. The dawn isn't coming because it's just the darkness growing deeper and taking it away. I don't think I have tended to give James Hetfield enough credit as a songwriter. Like, I've always thought he was good, but you know, until you actually sit down and break the stuff down, do you quite know how good it is? It's great.
That song in 1983. That song is about suicide. You know darkness. I know you know darkness. I know darkness too. But that's why we're here. We get to see a little bit of light here, right? Doesn't it feel good to belong somewhere? I feel I belong right here, and so do you. You are not alone!
And there it was, made explicit, that sense of togetherness, of oneness, and the fact that you are not alone, which is such a massive part of what people who are going through that, who are in that place, need to hear, and not just to hear it, but to feel it. And I think that's something that an experience like this can give you. It's a big thing. Like it's a huge deal, and it's something that affects so many people. And it always has. I think, you know, we talk a lot about loneliness now in the sort of in the social media age, it's taken on a very different form. And one that is under a great deal of discussion. I think it has become more visible in a way. That's not to say whether it's got better or worse, but I think it's changed. The final verse of the song, no one but me can save myself, but it's too late. And that's immediately like the power behind that, the sort of the hopefulness of you can save yourself, but the fact that only you can do it, which by the way is still somewhat true, even with this sense of with this community and this togetherness that they're able to get. There's still truth in the idea that it still has to come from you, because you still have to kind of put yourself out there and put yourself into that position to feel that sense of community. You have to. There is an active acceptance that is needed, I think. But that's a digression a little bit. That's not in the song. Well, kind of is. No one but me can save myself, but it's too late. Maybe for the person in the song, they didn't get access, or maybe they didn't make the choice to accept that that what they needed, and now it's too late. Now I can't think why I should even try. Because if it's too late, then why would you try? This is actually one of the real one of the big discussion points, really, with, you know, there's this thing of calling it the easy way out, and I think that's a way of that way of talking about it, I think, rubs people the wrong way a lot, and completely understandably so, because there's nothing feels easy about being in that place. Of course there isn't. But it's still true that holding on takes more strength than letting go, if that is where you are. And so the brain's path of least resistance, the mind's way of abdicating the sheer effort of it all, is to give up. And that happens in small ways, and it happens in big ways, and it can happen in the final way that the song is about. One of the things that I think we have to do is catch ourselves in our in our taking the easy is not the right word, but the simple way. The most direct path. Because getting anywhere, escaping from a dark place, isn't ever easy. It isn't ever simple. And we have to be able to wrestle with that complexity and that difficulty. We have to be ready to try. We have to confront the tension inherent in being willing to put effort into a thing that appears hopeless. Because if we truly believe that it is hopeless, then of course the most natural thing in the world is to not try. And so we have to... And this is what a lot of people are discovering, is that the mindset isn't necessarily even one of determination and being willing to fight and struggle. It's almost conceding to the struggle instead of conceding to ending it. And I think that's a thing that has helped a lot of people, is the, instead of throwing up your hands and going, it's over. It's also not raising your fist and going, I shall fight on. It's instead throwing up your hands and going, fine, I will live through this absolute garbage life that I'm living through. Fine, I'll take it. And that's... that's how it works for a lot of people. Anyway, yeah, I did end up rambling on the broader subject rather than staying focused on the song. Hey ho, there it is. Yesterday seems as though it never existed. He's so much in this moment, in his feelings, in this absolute instant of finality. Death greets me warm. Now I will just say goodbye. In the song, he finishes that thought. He does end it. He obviously didn't, in reality, but I think by putting it into words, he's able to release, because I do believe that Hetfield have been through these feelings. I do believe that these words were sincere to him. He hasn't been I wouldn't say he hasn't been shy about his emotional struggles. You haven't always known about them when they were happening, so he does go through things privately. But he's also been quite vocal about having been through them. Once he is kind of at the other side, and absolutely bless him for it. It's a thing that a lot of people need to hear, and it's a thing that a lot of people need to hear from someone like him in his position. And yeah. And this was written so long ago, and you know he's been through more since. For this song, from that wholly different stage of life, to still be a song that feels that real to him. Because in this performance, it clearly is. This stuff never goes away, really. And he did accept the struggle, and he continues to do so to this day. And you gotta respect that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Let the band play us out. Let In the Moment JD enjoy what remains of the track. See you later. Really, oh, I love it.
Beautiful singing, Mexico City!
So good. And they're just like, that's a song that was written when I was 1. I was a year old. If I'd had my birthday when they wrote it. And I mean, it's a song that will probably always have relevance, and it's a song that has had relevance, I think, repeatedly throughout James Hetfield's life. I know that he's talked about, you know, a number of times when he's being at a low ebb. Analytical JD will probably already have talked about this, or will come in at this point to speak with a little more erudition on the subject. But there's I wonder if part of what was part of what motivates the feelings behind a song like Lux Eterna is an underlying feeling. I mean, it is, right? Like, it's there is a verse in that that is about having dark thoughts and feelings, and that right here is where you get to express and release those feelings. And like he said it himself, that this is where he feels he belongs. And he's invited the whole crowd into that feeling. In fact, he invited them before he said that he was there. That was his own feeling. But it's so well known of them anyway. He didn't need to. But I that feeling of I'm going with camaraderie, so that it extends it to the broader broader world than just a, you know, for men. The ability to bring a song that is about what Fade to Black is about to your friends, to your comrades, to your band. And there's a vulnerability to that, and an openness, and I think that is one way in which it can become a sort of a shared experience that so many people, like, I'm speaking these words in 2025. I have to use the words male loneliness epidemic. That, like, so many people lack and are actively discouraged from attaining but I mean, there's a very real possibility that James Hetfield wouldn't be alive today if he wasn't in Metallica. And we talked about the rate at which people, and in particular men, disproportionately do. Here we go again. TikTok slang, unalive themselves. But how many people in that audience, in that huge audience, have at least had those feelings? And the ability of a band like Metallica, like an unimpeachably masculine band to be into, right? which is to say nothing about them having... A lot of my friends are female, a lot of my friends are metalheads. That's not the point that I'm making, but like, if you're the kind of guy who cares about only ever doing guy stuff, being into Metallica is just fine. I think you'll agree. And for them to express that vulnerability and to invite people into it and to allow for that emotion to be expressed and released is just huge. It's a phenomenal thing. And it's also just a fantastic performance from 4 not young guys. I mean, Robert Trujillo is younger than the rest, but I mean, even he's not young at this point, and the rest of them, well, they were writing and performing metal songs when I was but a wee babber, so and for them to be playing at that level, just an amazing performance. Respect. They are not perfect, but they are very, very good. Anyways, thanks very much for watching this. If you've enjoyed my vibe in general, do come on over to twitch.tv/jdtillingast. That is not about the music, that's just playing video games and chilling and chatting. I will also link in the description to this original video. And also to my Twitch channel, because who among you is going to bother to work out how to spell Tillinghast? About the same number of people who know how to pronounce it, if they've only seen it written down. Thanks very much for watching. There's going to be some other stuff to watch come up on here. You can click one of those. But you know how to use YouTube. If you like it, like it. If you want more of it, subscribe. If you've got something to say about it, put it in the comments. Try to stay nice. Cheers.